The two leaders were expected to discuss Israel's military plans for a retaliatory strike against Iran following last week's missile attack. The Middle East remains tense, awaiting Israel's response to Iran's launch of 182 missiles aimed at military and civilian targets, which ultimately resulted in no casualties.
Everything you know about Israel is about to change. I'm about to reveal secret footage so shocking that it's going to leave you questioning everything. From skies full of missiles to strange UFOs at the holy site. Buckle up, as I'm about to show you secret videos leaked out of Israel. Number 1. A hellish sky. Just imagine looking up and seeing a whole barrage of missiles coming right at you. I don't think humans were built to experience this. And while most news outlets praise Israel's advanced Iron Dome for soiling all attacks, this secret clip shows something different. Is the truth being hidden from us? Is Israel facing the heat after this extensive Iranian missile attack? Number 2. Israeli fireworks. While most countries have festivals and fireworks, Israel has the Iron Dome. Consider it a free show for residents who get to witness the deadly weapon system light up the sky. Like and subscribe right now, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week. And let's not forget those nightmarish sirens either. It must be horrifying, though, walking around all day knowing you could be attacked at any given moment. But yeah, I bet you've never seen footage like this with the Iron Dome in action. It's almost as if it's some sort of alien technology. Number 3. Otherworldly technology. This is what I meant by alien technology. Seeing the Iron Dome in action in the dark night sky must be one of the most terrifying yet exhilarating experiences ever. Like I said before, it's like a super expensive fireworks show. But imagine having to experience this every single night. And trust me, this footage is something Israel wants to keep secret. Cities might not be in ruins, but no one's going to want to come visit if this is what happens every night. Number 4. UFO in Jerusalem. Forget war for a second. Considering how there's so much religious history in Israel, UFOs and other sightings have become quite common. Like this one here, for example, it shows a strange, mysterious light hover above the dome before shooting back up at crazy speeds. And what's interesting, this UFO was recorded from multiple angles by different eyewitnesses who claim seeing the same exact thing. What are these things? Aliens or angels? Number 5. Drones or a secret weapon. These strange lights might look like missiles and warheads, but they're not. How do I know that? Well, there's no response from the defense systems. So, what are these mysterious objects? What's funny is, not even the Israeli government or military has been able to figure it out. Could this just be the enemy's new secret weapon? Undetectable drones? Or worse, UFOs? Number 6. Blackened shorelines. Finally, something out of Israel doesn't involve missiles or war, but it's strange as heck. One of their shorelines was hit by a mystery oil spill with no valid explanation.
Who caused this oil spill? Israel is trying to track down the ship responsible for an oil spill.
That's like waking up in the morning and finding out there's tar in your front yard. How does something like that even happen? Where did this oil come from? The fact that Israel is always under war doesn't help either. Each time something like this happens, people start thinking it's some sort of an attack. But either way, it is strange how there was no oil spill in the region either. Number 7. Massive blast. Israel is not in a good position right now. They can try to hide all they want, but it will eventually make it out. Like this clip here. This is after the Iranian missile attack. And just look at how massive that explosion is. The Iron Dome has clearly failed, and it's only time before people start realizing the truth. And what's scary is, these explosions were seen all the way from Beirut. But again, a lot of experts believe this clip is just propaganda and that the explosions didn't take place in Israel. I'm not sure what the truth is, but for a country that's so developed, it sure has a lot of media censorship. What are they so afraid of? Why can't they let the world know what's going on inside? Or what secrets are they hiding? Number 8. Drone attack or something else. What even happened here? No missiles, no drones, no planes, nothing. But something still struck this building, causing it to blow up. Is it just me? Or do you also find it strange how things mysteriously blow up in Israel? And pair that with all the strange sightings in the sky, and you have the perfect recipe for controversy. Believe it or not, most Israelis actually believe these odd explosions are a sign from God to stop all the warfare. And considering how we rarely get to see any sort of video come out of Israel, it could just be they're trying to hide something from us. Number 9. Spirit orb or Holy Ghost. The fact that this was captured at the Holy Wall makes things even scarier. It's an orb appearing out of thin air and zooming past the wall. A spirit, alien, or a ghost? I'll let you be the judge, but what's interesting is there are a ton of stories of similar sightings at the wall. And like I said before, considering how there's some religious history in the region, these might just be angels. Number 10. Abandoned houses. Get ready to be blown away. I know for a fact this is the first time you're seeing this secret clip. These houses aren't just ordinary buildings. They're abandoned haunted houses of the first ever Jewish settlers in Hadera. This place is pretty much a ghost town now. No one wants to come here. People have reported hearing strange demonic noises, screams and cries late at night, with mysterious figures and shadows roaming around inside the houses. Also, is it just me, or does this clip give you the creeps as well? I feel super uncomfortable watching these eerie houses just frozen there in time. It's definitely a place I would not want to find myself in when it starts getting dark. Number 11. Robotic snake. You'd only expect to find something like this in Israel. And no, that's not a real snake. It's actually a robotic snake being tested by the military to cover difficult and dangerous terrain. It was first tested in Tel Aviv, and honestly speaking, if it wasn't for this leaked footage, I would have never known. Also, let's not forget that this is a very old clip, and by now, the military has probably turned this into a real-looking snake with proper movements. I wonder what else the Israelis are busy developing. Number 12. Two sides. Check out this disturbing footage captured near one of Israel's borders. There's at least 100 tanks here, and don't get me wrong, I don't mean any offense, but Israel is literally a parking lot for US tanks and missiles. But yeah, maybe that's why there's such limited footage of what's going on in the country. Half of Israelis live a normal life, while the other half is busy fighting a war on the daily. Number 13. Torn by war. This is what I was talking about. Since we rarely get to see anything come out of Israel, we can only imagine what the cities look like, but it seems like most of them are slowly starting to turn into rubble. Despite having one of the strongest defense systems in the world, not even Israel is safe from destruction.
This hit actually created a lot of damage to the houses.
Check out this footage of an entire town destroyed by missile strikes. You'll never get to see stuff like this on the news. In fact, not even Israel would show this to its own people. Number 14. Taking hits. So, what's causing all this damage? And why won't Israel let the world see? One word: Iran. Iran has launched over 200 missiles at Israel in the past couple of days, and the only reason why this footage is being suppressed is to show the world that their Iron Dome is still on top. But it seems like such an effective defense is coming at a high cost, and according to recent reports, Israel's economy is starting to take some serious hits now. I wonder how things will play out in the future. Number 15. Temple Mount. This clip is the reason why Israel is so controversial. It's a land full of religious history, the only problem being almost every religion once flourished here, and all the holy sites are disputed as ownership is claimed by different religious groups. But this is one of the only times we've seen the Temple Mount after its renovation. Just look at how mysterious it looks. Imagine all the history down there. And here's an interesting fact. The Temple Mount is one of the most sensitive spots of the Arab-Israeli conflict, and all changes are being watched closely by both sides. Number 16. Hezbollah tunnels. Found? This clip wasn't snuck out of Israel. It was actually released by their forces, claiming these are Hezbollah tunnels under Lebanon. Real or fake? I'm not sure, since it might just be some sort of a propaganda war. But either way, crazy how an entire war is being conducted inside a complex network of tunnels underneath a country. Israeli forces claim they have explored all of these tunnels but haven't found a single member down here. That's strange. Where did they all go? Or did they know they've been caught? Israel might just need to start worrying about spy. Number 17. Ultra-Orthodox protest. Funny how everyone cheers for war, but freaks out when it's time for drafting. This protest broke out after the Supreme Court gave the green light for the military to start public enlisting. These ultra-Orthodox Jews were against the decision and set an entire town on fire, starting an entire riot. Maybe the reason why we rarely see anything come out of Israel is because it's fighting itself as well. Half of the population wants war, while the other half opposes their own government. Number 18. Ghost caught on camera. Things are about to get spooky, folks. This clip was captured after a deadly rocket strike, and what you're about to see is going to send chills down your spine. It's a ghost, or at least that's what it looks like. It almost looks like a mysterious shadow that's walking through walls and other objects. It turns out there are multiple shadows walking back and forth, straight through anything in their path. Also, if you look closely, you'll see how they disappear randomly before reappearing again. I don't know about you, but that looks quite real to me. Number 19. Ghost Town. Any guesses when this clip is from? COVID-19, folks. Also, now you'll understand what I meant by Israel having two sides. See how well developed this city is? Modern cars, clean streets, lots of businesses. It's like you're in a different country. That is, until you go to the other side. Anyway, this clip was recorded back in 2020 when the world was going through a major pandemic. It's quiet and serene and peaceful, seeing how things were. And if I'm being honest, it almost makes me a bit nostalgic. Number 20. Time to go. This is super unfortunate. This clip is from the Tel Aviv airport, and it shows thousands of people trying to flee the country. And I'm not sure if you know, but there are actually some reports of Tel Aviv being a ghost town now. Literally, no one lives there anymore out of the fear of missiles. And as more people leave the country, I think the government seriously needs to sit down and think if war is the right move here. If they keep this up, Israel will pretty much turn into a ghost country with very little population. Number 21. Fighting on two fronts. Who would have thought Israel would be fighting on two fronts? The military is clearly overburdened, fighting multiple enemies all at once. But check this out. It seems the Israeli government has an internal enemy that's been eating them out for the longest time now. Poverty. I was shocked to find out Israel has the most poverty in the world for a developed country. It's amazing how they've prevented this news from leaving their country. I mean, this entire time, I thought Israel was one of the richest societies in the world, but it turns out almost 1 in 5 Israelis are fighting poverty. That's tragic. Number 22. Purim holiday. I never knew ultra-Orthodox Jews were wild party animals. Just look at this bunch. They're having a blast enjoying the Purim holiday. You can see them struggle to walk straight and even laying down in the streets, drunk on their happiness and alcohol. For people who call themselves God's chosen ones, they sure know how to get it on. But it's cool how we've never seen this side of theirs. Finally, a different perspective on life inside Israel. Number 23. Fires in northern Israel. These aren't wildfires in Australia or California. No, sir. This is northern Israel after a Hezbollah strike. Never in a million years would I have known Israelis are facing the heat if it weren't for this leaked footage. You can see how almost an entire forest has burnt down, with several houses on fire as well. It seems to me that the Iron Dome is finally starting to lag as more and more rockets are fired at it. Believe it or not, it took authorities almost 3 weeks to put out the fire. Number 24. A different POV. Remember that crazy Iranian missile attack? Well, check out this crazy footage. This is what it must have looked like from the ground. And honestly, that is easily one of the scariest things I've ever seen. I mean, just imagining strolling around in the street when you see a dozen rockets coming right at you. You can also see how everyone is panicking, running for shelter as it rains missiles. Life must suck. One moment, you're having a lovely time, and the next, you're trying to find shelter to avoid getting hit by a literal missile. Number 25. Tel Aviv beach shelter. When you're constantly at war, having a shelter right near the beach helps a lot. You can hear the sirens go off in the back as beachgoers run towards the shelter to take cover. Again, such a terrible way to live, always in fear of an attack. Number 26. Underground shelter. Now, have a look at this. This footage from an underground shelter. You can see people gathered around, praying for the missiles to miss their targets. And I just said this, but just imagine how terrible it must be for this to be a party of your daily lives. I think it's about time Israel moved towards a ceasefire. Number 27. Used to it. Here's another clip of what happens when the sirens go off. And when you're not near any shelter, this is what you're expected to do. Honestly, it almost seems as if these people are used to it. I guess they have a lot of faith in the Iron Dome. I mean, you can literally see some of them talking on the phone with a smile on their face. Number 28. Site 512. I think some of you might know about this. These are some satellite images of the infamous American military base Site 512 in Israel. The reason why Site 512 has been kept a secret is because a lot of Americans are against the idea of taxpayer money being used for wars. But it looks like the secret is finally out. Are these really satellite images of Site 512 or just baseless propaganda? I'll let you be the judge, but from what I've heard, there's definitely an American military base in Israel. Number 29. A tough situation to be in. It was this leaked footage that caused an uproar among Israelis. But what's so special about it? It's just the Iron Dome, right? Well, a weapons expert got his hands on this footage and observed something crazy. Believe it or not, it costs Israel more to defend than attack. Yep, for stopping just one missile, it costs Israel thousands of dollars. I bet that ceasefire is starting to sound really good now, eh? But yeah, more and more Israelis are demanding the government to step down, considering how they're blowing everything on the war. Number 30. Secret attack on military base. Watch these rebels creep onto Israeli soil to attack a military base. A lot of people believe this clip is nothing but propaganda, since there's no way 5 soldiers can take down a base. And that's what Israelis are saying as well. They think this secret clip leaked to the world was done purposely to create.
Government has quickly shifted from saying it wasn't interested in a large-scale escalation to ordering the army to prepare for a possible ground invasion.
A false perspective. I think people are finally fed up. They just want to get done with this war, and that's why they're quick to call out the government. But is this clip really leaked footage of an attack or just propaganda? Number 31. Hezbollah attacks. This isn't for the faint-hearted. This appears to be footage of an Iranian-backed Hezbollah attack. You can see rockets being fired into Israel territory, causing some serious damage. Can Israel fight in the north and south? They really need to start thinking about this now. Maybe they've bit off more than they can chew, because in the coming days, things are only going to get more intense. And with Hezbollah so close to infiltrating Israeli borders, I hope there's no casualties. Number 32. Iron Dome failure. It's been caught on tape, folks. The Iron Dome has just failed. Watch this intense footage as we see Iranian missiles strike a populated town. I sure hope this town was evacuated, because those rockets were on target. The casualties are still unclear, though, as the Israeli government is trying their best to cover it up. But the footage has made it out, and I wonder how enemy forces will behave now, considering they can break through the dome. It's only time before we start seeing more clips of similar bombings. But yeah, if you thought Israel was winning this war unscratched, you better think again. Number 33. Cave of Horror. Caves generally aren't that nice. They're actually quite scary. But a cave of horror? Now that's something else. It was discovered in the Israeli desert, but that's not what caught my attention. What they found inside was the real prize. An ancient scroll with strange text on it was found inside the cave. Let's just hope it has a religious origin.
The Israeli authorities said the scriptures were of immeasurable worth for humanity.
Because I don't know how I feel about a scroll and being found inside a cave full of horrors. Number 34. Disturbed by a rocket. Imagine chilling in your home watching TV when all of a sudden you hear a loud bang. Everything in your apartment is flipped upside down. And if you live in Israel, you know exactly what it is. A rocket. This footage is from an Israeli apartment, and you can see the exact moment a rocket lands nearby. His entire apartment is turned upside down. But notice how casual he is about everything. I guess that's a pretty regular thing when you're living in a country that's been at war for the past century. Number 35. Hilarious footage. let's take a quick break from all the rockets and war. Check out these two Israeli boys. They're aged 13 and 15. And guess what they're trying to do here? Rob a bank. And don't worry, those aren't real weapons. They're actually toys. I'm kind of glad this clip made it out of Israel. Thank God. It's relatable in some way, at least. Number 36, The Great Book Robbery. Believe it or not, all these books you're seeing on your screen right now are probably some of the oldest in the world. Just imagine all the history and secrets they hold. The best part is how they're not just limited to one religion or region. This library contains secrets of the world. But like anything in Israel, it isn't without controversy. This library is actually known as the Great Book Robbery. And the reason for that is most of these books have been stolen from different places across the world. Let's hope Israel eventually returns them, because there's no point keeping them in your libraries if they're stolen. Number 37, The Safe. This footage is both scary and hilarious. It's from the infamous Israeli prison, The Safe, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you why it's called that. It's virtually impossible for prisoners to escape from here, but what do we have here? Looks like The Safe is not so safe after all. At least 6 prisoners escaped from here without alarming jail security. They did it by digging a tunnel under the toilet. Looks like Israelis have their own version of Prison Break now. Number 38, Israeli Prison Camp. This footage is from the 50s, and what you're about to see will blow you away. Behold, an Israeli prison camp, and the people you see inside, Egyptians. I don't know why, but I seriously think Israel needs to rethink its strategy. Like I said before, it's been at war for nearly a century now, and that's eventually going to start catching up. I mean, I find it absurd how even if we were to go back around 70 years, the Israeli government was doing the same exact thing as today, and with 1 in every 5 people living in poverty. I think they should spend their money on other things than just guns and weapons. Number 39, A Beautiful City. Israel is beautiful. Just look at the marvelous city. And of course, how can we forget the out-of-place Iron Dome? Honestly, it seems like this is what the country is known for now: war and rockets. That's all. That's their global perception now. And trust me, they have so much more to offer. But yeah, this footage isn't just about a rocket being intercepted. It's much more than that. It's a city that wants to be peaceful, but has to put up with war every single night. That's it from our side, folks. So, what do you think? Did you know the Iron Dome was failing? And is it time Israel moved past wars and rockets? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.